All right, it is 6:31. Who are we missing?
I'm pretty sure that our treasurer should be here, Mr. Ruff. Not sure if he's in this frame. I guess I can't see.
I see him. I see him in the participants window.
Okay.
Is the secretary here? Does not appear to be here.
No, it would be Maggie, but it's not a big deal. I can handle this all myself.
Actually, she was referring to the LNC secretary, Adam.
Okay, I got you.
So who is going to be speaking on behalf of either LP North Dakota or the Ballot Access Committee to present this? You're muted, Bill.
Yeah, Bill, you're.
All right.
There you go.
Well, Madam Chair, I made the motion. I think it's self-explanatory what I sent to you, which I presume you forwarded to the committee. So if you wanted to open it up to North Dakota Chair to elaborate, that's fine with me.
Okay. Just a sec. So members of the executive committee, you've all seen it, right? The proposal that was forwarded. Okay. Still no secretary. All right. I'm going to go ahead and call roll real quick. Mr. Hagan, you are here. I am here. Mr. Moment here. John Phillips, you are here. There you are. Laura Edke, and I think Richard Longstreth was one who was coming, but going to be a few minutes late, perhaps. Let me reach out to them.
You can come in.
Okay.
All right. I want to keep this as close to on time as we can. So if we have whoever is able to speak for LP North Dakota and whoever is able to speak for the Ballot Access Committee here, I think we'll go ahead and get started. So Bill, you said you want to let them go ahead and fill in some gaps there.
I put my motion in there, or what is the proposed motion that somebody on the committee would have to make, I guess. So I've laid out the plan, and you can ask others to speak to it.
Okay. Adam, you said you wanted to do that?
Yeah, I can propose it. That's no problem. So I will give the state of where we are at right now, and then I will propose what we are kindly asking for. So the state of North Dakota needs 8,000 legal signatures. We have 2,000 collected already. We have paid out already $3,200 for the signatures. And so what our proposal is we're hoping to get $9,000 from the National Party. That $9,000 will be able to cover the rest of our 6,000 signatures. And so your next question is where are those signatures going to come from? I've already collected now I'm over 1,000. I've collected already over 1,000. And the reason why on the plan I have committed to doing all of the signatures is because at the end of the day, I think it's pretty apparent that the buck always stops at the chair. And so I'm willing to take on the responsibility of the rest of the 6,000. But Mr. Ruff, who I see is now in here, also has done ballot access and other ballots and that have required triple of what we need now. And they've been able to do those with relative ease. So there is some experience in our committee. And we're very confident that with the $9,000 from National, we'll be able to get this done well before the deadline. Our goal is actually to get it done before Christmas. It's not due until April 11th. So.
Okay. Is there anyone else who wants to? So the motion basically has been made, if you can see it in the chat. Well, it's
Shall I
been,
make the motion?
now's
I'll
the
move,
time.
I'll move that we'll encumber 9,000 for North Dakota ballot access and reduce Alabama encumbrance from by $1,000, make it from 62,000, change it to 61,000.
I'll second that so we can have discussion.
Okay. Give me a second, guys. I'm also trying to take minutes. All right. Okay, so we've heard a little bit from North Dakota about this, about what the plan is beyond what was laid out in the proposal that we already received. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak on this motion? Mr. Moman.
Yeah. So the only thing I'd like to note is that in the past, whoa, I dropped my phone. In the past, we've had a thing where we have not let state officials get paid to petition. We did that in Ohio, I remember clearly, this committee did. And then prior to that, we did, but that the way that it was done was such that National was really running the drive. That there needs to, just for the sake of, I forget the saying around this, but basically making sure that there's no allegations, no hurt feelings, no anything in the future. The clean way, in my opinion, to do this is to make sure that the way this would be paid out, the way this would be done, is that signatures would be scanned in. This is how we did the Oklahoma drive. Signatures were scanned, sent to National. National would then work to validate those, to verify that they were good, not just on their face, but also the validity rate. And then National would pay that out. And so instead of having the state party in what would reasonably be called potentially a conflict of interest, in that they were getting paid to pay themselves, I would suggest that we go with the model we used in Oklahoma, where petitions would be scanned, validated by National volunteers, and then paid out to the party, just to keep everything clean. So that was my only thought on the matter, was just to make sure that there's no allegations later on.
I say, actually, that makes sense, and I have no objection to that.
I have no objections to that either. One thing I will note that is fortunate for our state is we do have the highest legality turnout for signatures.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it's because of the counties don't matter. It just has to be a legal state member. So that is one thing that will be good when we scan in our petitions. So.
Yeah, and if I may, real quick here again, mention, I remember that North Dakota is a state that if you have basically, as long as you're considered a citizen, you're allowed to sign. So you just have to basically have a driver's license in North Dakota and you're a citizen and you're good. So it is a high validity rate state, and so that is good.
So
Actually, there's no requirement for a driver's license, and there's no signature comparison because we don't have registered voters. So you just have to make sure that all the signatures don't look the same, you know, that there's no kind of fraud going on.
Right.
Mr. Moman, your suggestion, that I don't see that as being part of this motion. Is that just something that you're suggesting for this committee and for North Dakota to do? And
yeah, I mean, I would say that while the motion is strictly the dollars, right? The motion is shifting or allocating 9,000, of which 1,000 is being shifted from Alabama to North Dakota. the technical details are kind of on us, right? And from our perspective, it's our money. So we can kind of dictate this, but I just, just kind of my thought on it is to make sure everything's clean. I think we have the authority to just run this drive how we want. And I think, Madam Chair, that would actually run through you, through the executive director, because at the end of the day, the operations director is the one that cuts the checks, as I recall. So, assuming that there's not objection to running things that way, I don't know that we need to amend the motion. I think it's just a matter of everybody's cool with it, and that's what we're going to do.
Okay. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak for, well, we've heard a couple of people speak for this. Anybody who wants to speak against this motion? Okay, anybody who wants to speak on it at all?
Madam Chair, I want to speak and I have a question. The first is the question. Let me start with the question, just because this is the first time I've been in the ExComm where we've been missing people. Do we have enough people for quorum?
We have 5 of the 7 executive committee members here.
So that's a yes.
I'm sorry, 6 of the 7.
Mr. Longstreth has joined also.
Yes. We have
Okay,
6.
so yes. So that's a definite yes. And then the statement I wanted to make was just a reminder that if you guys think back to the meeting in Chicago, when we were allocating money for ballot access, that this ballot access drive in particular was mentioned as one of the reasons we reserved some fundage. This is something we've been kind of working on for a while. This isn't really a new request. And Mr. Harris can speak to this too. And Robert wasn't able to be here tonight, but he did, of course, give his blessing in the sense that this is within the budget. So Tyler, if you have anything to add on that.
Yeah, in terms of the overall budget line for ballot access, this is something that is not adjusting that ballot line either direction. It's within the ballot line for ballot access that so that's completely consistent. And as far as what Mr. Molman was mentioning, it sounded like the desire was for I believe the way he phrased it was national volunteers, but I assume that would be coordinated through the ballot access committee. And then of course, Mr. Kraus and myself are going to be happy to facilitate payment based on whoever that validating party is will then be the one that tells us, okay, here's, X number of valid signatures to pay out from that encumbrance. And then we'll facilitate that the same way we would with any other ordinary drive.
Speaking out of turn for the ballot access committee, I think that we would pretty well run with Mr. Redpath on that and let him, call most of the shots, as that is his position. So.
Oh, I would just say, the signatures really can't be validated, but they should be counted and reviewed to make sure they look good, that they look not fraudulent, that they're readable in terms of, at least, I don't know if there's a printed name. I haven't seen the petition, but that the signatures are, or the names are readable and it all looks legitimate. And we have enough numbers. And we also, this is a unique way to go about, and I would salute the Libertarian Party of North Dakota in no uncertain terms if they're able to do this, but we need to monitor the situation in terms of number of signatures collected and make sure that we're on track to make sure this thing succeeds by the deadline. We have to keep that in mind as well.
Ms. Ebke?
Yeah, no, I was going to raise some of those issues already, but I think that I presume that the petitions all have addresses, have an address line and printed name and then signature. And I think it's worthwhile for us to just make sure that that somebody at the office, some ballot access committee folks or somebody just goes through, counts the signatures and makes sure that they all are in North Dakota or at least purport to be in North Dakota and that they look valid. So before we pay out. So.
And I did see Adam there. Adam, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your last name. But I did see him nodding. So yes, the information that you just pointed out would be on there, and we could verify that to whatever extent resources were available to us.
That is correct. Obviously, I've been able to do them out in the fair, and yep, it's printed name first, and then it's address, and then there's the signature. So,
Okay. Mr. Mullin?
I just wanted to note, because of the requirement simply being that you have to be a resident, we can probably also do some quick verification just doing whitepages.com or whatever searches. I mean, it's not even a matter of being registered. You have to be a resident. So you can do a reverse search on address and name. So we can do some basic search tests, I guess is my point. So.
Okay. Is there any further discussion on this motion?
one thing I would like to add, we're going to get 8,000 signatures, but requirement is 7,000 signatures. So we're going 1,000 over. And with it being the highest legality in the country, it's pretty much a guarantee that it'll go through. Obviously it's fine if you guys want to check, then there's no problem with that, but I was just letting you guys know that to give more confidence. So.
All right, thank you. Any further discussion from committee members?
Madam Chair, I didn't raise my hand this time, but I just want to make sure I'm clear. So the minimum is 7,000 valid. You guys are going for 8,000. Is that correct?
That would be correct.
That should be plenty.
All right. Hearing no further discussion on this, we will move to a vote. I'll just ask, is there any objection to this, or do we need a roll call for this?
I'll just say, why don't we do a roll call just to make it clean?
Okay.
I don't think we really do, but.
Okay, so we'll move to a vote on the motion here that is in the chat. Hopefully everyone can see it. I'll read it just in case. Encumber $9,000 for North Dakota. Reduce the Alabama encumbrance from $62,000 to $61,000. Keep the ballot access expense line to $84,000 as budgeted. All right, let's see. I'm going in the order I see your faces on my screen. So, Mr. Hagan.
Yes.
Ms. Ebke.
Yes.
Mr. Moman. I hear you. I didn't hear you. Mr. Moman, I did not hear you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, yes. Sorry. My video.
Got it. Who's next? Mr. Phillips.
Yes.
And Mr. Longstreth.
I vote yes.
All right. And I will also vote yes. Okay. 6-0, the motion passes. So we have done our jobs for tonight. Anything else anybody wants to add or say?
Madam Chair, Dalton Brown is the immediate past chair of the LPND. I think he has his hand up there.
Okay, I do see that. Yeah.
Okay.
So Mr. Brown?
I just wanted to clarify, is the amount of payment per signature or per hour? Because I've seen multiple plans proposed. I was just curious if that was clarified in the newest document. I haven't been able to see it.
It is per signature.
Okay, thank you. That was all.
All right. If there is nothing else, we have concluded our business for this evening.
Then I move to adjourn.
All right, we've got a motion to adjourn.
I just have a quick thing of a personal matter. Laura Ebke, I'm going to stop at the Nebraska State Capitol on my drive out to Denver. Do you have any pointers?
They have a really nice tour at like 10 o'clock. I think it's on the half hour. And you definitely need to go up to the 14th floor if they'll let you.
Okay, 14th floor if they'll let me. How long is the tour?
A half hour, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
14th floor, half hour tour. Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion to adjourn. Any objections to adjournment? Hearing none, we are adjourned.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you all.